Hello, citizens of the world.
Have you ever had a small organism that you wanted to observe?
Or perhaps a small particle that you wanted to observe underneath a microscope.
Today is in fact your lucky day because we're selling Robert Hooke's original microscope.
The microscope that he used to observe many different dead plant tissues.
If you don't know who Robert Hooke is, are you living underneath a bridge?
Robert Hooke is an amazing scientist of the 17th century. He made many observations about the world around him using his microscope.
He recorded his observations in a book called Micrographia, which he published in 1665.
The microscope he created was the best of his time.
Did you know that he invented the term cells while observing the corpse? And the corpse, it looked like very upset.
And as a result of that, he called them cells.
Who wouldn't want this microscope?
It's a great deal for, just call the number right on the screen if you want the microscope. Not to mention, it's a wonderful deal for 27 easy payments of $35.99.
But the scientific fun doesn't stop there. We're selling his book, Micrographia, for only $9.95.
What an amazing offer.
What?
This isn't a £1,000 offer, but we're only selling it for £981.68.
Just call the number on the screen now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Say with me, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. So, I was born on October 24th, 1632. I was a clothes salesman, but then I started loving experimenting about new things in science. So, I know you guys have questions for me, so I would love for you guys to ask me that.
Yes, I have a question. What inspired you to create this first microscope?
Wow, what inspired me to create the first microscope? Originally, I was an amateur scientist, and I was experimenting with a lot of stuff. Like a really a lot. And like the only two things inspired me was the fun that came from experimenting with stuff and reading Hooke's Micrographia.
I see. What were some of your creations?
Like I said before, I had created a microscope. It could magnify objects up to 70 to 2,500 times. Nowadays, you could call it a magnify. Oh, yikes!
When did you discover this microscope?
I discovered this microscope in the late 1600s.
Where did you live most of your life?
I lived in Delft, Netherlands. Oh, Holland, you could say.
Interesting. What was your main job before?
My main job before was a clothes salesman, and I love experimenting things for fun. And somehow I created a microscope.
So you came up with a microscope while you were experimenting one day?
Yes, that's correct. Sorry, but I must go now. Thanks for asking the questions.
Wait, I have one more question.
What is it?
Do you know the difference between a guitar and a fish?
No, what is it?
You can't tune a fish.
Wow, that's so funny. Thank you for having me.
One day at middle school, in the middle of nowhere, 3 dead scientists magically appeared in Mr. Fuller's science class. Who are they?
Matthias Schleiden, Theodor Schwann, and Carl Theodor Ernest von Siebold.
Why are they here?
We're here because we're going to teach you about what we do as scientists before we pass it. I'm Matt.
I don't know how to say it.
I'm Matthias. I discovered what plant cells actually look like.
I'm Theodore. I spend my time studying animals I was particularly interested in the digestive system.
In 1845, I had believed of a theory that microbes were made up of one cells, but as they evolved, they were made up of many cells.
I was scheduled for an intern with Mr. Semmelweis.
Oh, yes, I forgot that was today. Come in.
Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Go ahead, even though there's not much to tell.
That's interesting. What are you working on today?
Oh, well, I'm working on, there has been a disease that has been going through, that has been going on between pregnant women, and it's called childbed fever, and it's killing people.
Yes, I am aware of that. My sister has died from that.
Well, sorry for your loss. I started to observe the doctors treating the disease.
The doctor who was treating my sister caught the disease too, and he died.
Exactly what I had presumed. The disease was infectious, but not only that, a dead body can spread it too.
So how can we know to reduce the spread and the death rate of the disease?
Good question. There was this solution that I found that by washing your hands and being very sanitary, washing your hands with this chemical, just a little bit of it, and mixing it in with that will help reduce the rate. I reduced the rate of my patients from 12% to 1%.
Did it make any difference at all?
Did it? Well, yes, it did, because 12% of it went down to 1%.
So why are you not sharing your research with other doctors?
I've tried, believe me, I've tried. But they don't want to listen. They want an explanation, and I don't have that yet.
What about the hospitals? Did you not try telling them?
Obviously, I told the doctors, which work in the hospitals, so yes, they refused to.
Well, they should have listened. Because Mr. Semmelweis soon suffered a mental breakdown and died in 1865 at 47 years old. 10 years later, the germ theory of the disease he couldn't even explain was explained. That hand washing reduced the risk of infectious disease by removing germs.
Right, assistant. We have children present. We are here to be the speakers. Yes, sir. This is my hunchback assistant. Let me adjust my accent to better fit your language skills of your... What century is this? 21st century.
21st century.
It is lit and gray, fam. Yeah? What do you want from the master? The master has been dead for years.
Sir, please teach these children your way of science.
My way of science? Well, of course. I'm right back. I'm cool. These are my documents of which I have had for years. Since I have died in 1902. Yes. It was very disappointing. Cut the lights! Come on! Now, in 1855, I published my theories of which I supported. As you can see here, they are moving, and they are multiplying, and they are changing. And here's the rate and the time. Do you see, kids? There are many cells. Assistant, you shall be the demonstrating under the microscope. It is when you are looking under the microscope, you see these organisms that you cannot usually see. And I have learned that you have used the microscope before. Dead people can know stuff too. So now, I'm a little rusty. Assistant, you demonstrating?
This is the cell.
The cell is moving around, as you can see, but it is multiplying and getting smaller and smaller. As you may usually see, this is a waste of what we call trees. But that's not important now, this is for science. Thank you. That will suffice. Assistant, do you have any words to say to the students? This is rude. You cannot talk to students like this. What must you say to students? I am the master here. These are the students. You must praise me because I brought you from the street. I gave you a job. You helped me as assistant when I was professor. 1849, I started my works. 1855, I published my works. But you assistant, you were there. What have I done?
But you discovered the idea that cells multiply, as you've demonstrated to the class.
I supported the idea. But did you know, children, infectious diseases and in diseases in general, I believe that they are created within specific areas of the cell in your body. This may or may not be true. I am not familiar with your 21st century science. But it is what I have supported in my works for as long as I can remember. And one prime example of this would be cancer. Who here knows about cancer? That's what you call it these days, right? Cancer?
Cancer cell.
Yeah, cancer. For specific types of cancer, you always know that there are areas in your body that are mainly infected. Am I right?
No.
Tell me I'm right.
Yes, you are right.
See? Then I didn't waste the money. I'm just kidding. He was okay. So, for example, which cancer would you like to use?
Breast.
Okay, breast cancer. When I was dead, I have been reading your many books, and I have seen lots of your information on cancer, but what astonished me was the surprise at how you see certain areas of the breast that are infected, or at least diseased areas, when you look through them, through an X-ray, or those tests that you perform. And there are certain areas that you see that are paranormal from the rest. They're not similar to the rest. They are either white, or there are certain broken pieces. And you see, when you see these certain areas of the breast, you realize it's not just an organism. The cells must be at play. Or when you're like with thyroid cancer, those iodine cells play a role in curing you. Yes. Esther? Assistant? My documents? Save those documents. Still alive. Is there anything you want to ask before I must die again?
How does cancer cells, like, how do they grow?
How do cancer cells grow? Well, cancer cells spread through the rest of your body through your cells. And it depends on which cancer you are talking about. Because each cancer is a different type of cancer, even though there may be similarities. But cells obviously have a major role to play in this development, and I have worked on cell theory for a lot of my life before I died. And cell theory has been something that has been developed over the years since I have died, and I'm proud of at your accomplishments in finding more on cell theory. Is it time?
I think our explanation and demonstration will suffice.
Brilliant! I'll miss you all. You know, I never had more of a quiet group than you. It's dark in here. Oh. Why is it closing in on me?
You shut down the lights, sir. Goodbye, children.
Sorry.
Let me help you out.
Joseph is ordering the coffee and the chocolate muffin. Florence walks into the coffee shop. William is sitting down. Joseph and Florence from the door.
Sorry for spilling the coffee on you.
No, it's okay. I'll clean it up. I'm fine.
Ma'am, do you need help?
Yeah, I'll let that.
Wait, you look really familiar, aren't you, Florence Nightingale?
Yes, I'm Florence Nightingale.
You do look familiar.
Yes, I'm Florence Nightingale, and I was born in 1820. I died in 1910, and I am an English nurse. And as a nurse, I noticed that being clean in the hospital is important. And I was one of the first to recognize the value of cleanliness, and I have decreased the number of people with infections.
That's really nice. And, well, I am Joseph Lister. I was born in 1827 and died at 1912. I am a Scottish surgeon. I came up with the idea of killing germs with chemicals. I began using an antiseptic to clean surgical instruments. I also sprayed the air and required hand washing and clean aprons.
Well, I'm William Halstead. I was born in 1852. I'm an American surgeon. I always thought that instead of just trying to kill the microbes, why not just to prevent them? So I started using the rubber gloves during my surgery, and it helped reduce the presence of microbes and improve patient health.
So you're Florence Nightingale that published that book, right?
Yes, I'm the one who made the book about cleanliness in the hospital, because it's important that people, that in the hospitals are clean so that people have less infections and they will not spread as much.
Interesting. How long have we had this milk?
About a week, doctor.
Well, we need to sketch it and record our data. Now, post it on the board so we can analyze our process. Now fetch me the raw milk. Thank you. And you might want to sketch this as well. It seems the microbes are eating off the glucose and yeast from the milk, causing it to spoil.
This might further support your idea of germ theory.
Maybe so. Now, pass me the fresh milk. Oh, okay. No. Right, we need to boil it. Alright. Sorry. This might be like wine, milk. We may be able to sterilize it. Okay. Well, you might want to look at this and sketch it, may you?
But there's nothing.
That's right. There's nothing to be seen, no microbes. Perfect. I shall call it pasteurization.
Oh God, I can't study anymore. My head hurts. And the test is tomorrow. All this studying is making my brain into mush.
It's okay. The main thing we need to know is who Robert Koch is.
Robert Koch. I never even heard that type of name before.
I'm Robert Koch. And yeah, I'm Robert Koch.
What the heck? What are you even doing here?
Thank God you're here. You need to tell us who you are and what you did.
Well, I'm a German physician, and I was born on December 11th, 1843, and I'm known for discovering the microbe that caused anthrax.
Well, what was the bacteria called again?
Well, the bacteria that it was called Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria, or MTB for short, and that was the bacteria that caused tuberculosis.
You're correct.
One more thing. Our teacher wanted us to know, what did you actually do to the rats?
Well, I wanted to work on this germ theory to find out what bacteria caused anthrax. So I took cow blood that was from a cow that had anthrax. I injected it into a rat, and I found out what caused it.
Icky.
It's icky, but I made some pretty huge discoveries.
Well, now it all makes sense.
I actually understand it now.
Okay, now I must leave. So if anybody asks, I was never here.
I'm sure gonna ace this test.